So, welcome to another Thursday on the Pagan Perspective. I'm your Thursday host, Yeka, and this week we've been talking about funerals and our death. So, our topic comes from Aunda Wolf. I hope that's how it's pronounced. And they write, "Hello, I am currently in school studying to be a funeral director slash embalmer. So, of course, I have to learn about a lot of religious practices dealing with death and funerals. I was curious on if you had put any thought into your funeral or if your personal faith has any must-haves or whatnot. Thank you guys." So this is really cool to think about. I had actually not really ever considered my own funeral until reading this topic. I guess in the back of my mind, I kind of always assumed that um, my ashes would be spread in the same mountain and land where my mother's ashes were. Um, but I hadn't really thought that much about it. Um, the idea of me dying is kind of doesn't really bother me a lot. It's kind of just an inevitable, like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to. Let me do the very best I can to make sure that's a really far, long period away. Um, but I don't think about death as a really negative or bad thing. It's just a reality for me. And I don't believe in reincarnation. I just believe that when a person dies, the pattern that they were no longer exists, and all the material that made them, like I don't believe in souls or anything like that. Everything that is us returns to being, is still part of the earth as it is us, but then it returns to the earth and gets to be something else. And this part of the cycle of, birth, life, death, decay, and regeneration. It just doesn't get to be that person anymore. So this topic got me thinking about, well, what would I actually like? And my fantasy, of course, I wouldn't be around to see it, but I would love to die in the fall um, as the very ancient matriarch of a big clan, both blood and non-blood related. And instead of a sad, mournful, oh, of course people will, whenever you lose somebody you love, you feel grief. But I would I like the idea of those, the funeral itself, or the memorial or wake or whatever it would be called, the ceremony basically, to have each person go around, and this is very similar to how we did our wedding actually, but for this it would be go around and share something that will continue, that I would have started, that would continue to live on through them. So that's the idea of what I would want as a funeral. And I like the idea of dying in fall because I think that's symbolically it's the time of kind of letting go in this beautiful period of the old getting to break down, and eventually, there's a rest period, but in the spring, we get life again. Um, the question here also asks, does our tradition have any, must-haves or anything? So because my tradition is not really a specific tradition, it's just what I was raised with, what I took from my father's beliefs, and then kind of what that evolved into as an older teenager and a young adult, and now as a, well, I'm still a pretty young adult, but not a super young adult anymore. And what my family, my partner and I, what our beliefs are. So I'm getting into rambling territory, but that is kind of my take on it. I would love to hear from you guys. If you haven't commented in the previous host's comment section what you guys would like. What would your ideal funeral be? And have there been ones that you've been to that you've really liked the aspects of? Let us know below. I believe next week is subs. Is that? Yes. So subs. And then we'll be back next month with a whole collection of more awesome topics. So see you next month and take care.